Hey artists, here's how you can make a cardboard loom using any kind of cardboard you have at your house. The larger the cardboard, the larger your weaving is going to be. So you can use a cereal box or an Amazon box. If you want something smaller, you can use like a mac and cheese box or a butter box or any kind of cardboard you can find. Next, you need to cut small notches into each side of the cardboard. So carefully, just cutting a little bit, maybe like a half an inch or smaller on both sides. Make sure you cut the same number of notches on both sides of your cardboard. Now we're going to add the warp onto our loom. So the warp is the string that helps us weave in between to create our weaving. Now we're going to attach the warp. So sliding and placing the string or yarn into each little notch that you made, wrapping around the back of each notch. So you're going to have a little loop on the back and then these long vertical strings in the front of your loom. Leave two tails at the ends, so the bottom of your loom, and then you can just cut and trim your string, yarn, or floss, whatever material you're using. Now just tie a little knot on each end of those strings so they stay in place and they don't slide out in between your notches there. If you want, you can take some tape and just tape it right to the back of your loom. So that's the back, and this is the front. Now we can start weaving in between each warp, the vertical lines that you see in the front of your loom. We want to weave over and under and repeat that pattern between each warp. So going over the first warp, under the second, over the next, under, over, under, over, and then pull through, and be sure to leave a little tail at the end. We don't want to pull all the way through. Now we're going to start weaving back on our next row, and we left off under, so we're going to start over and continue under, over, under, over, under, pull through, leave a little bit of space so it doesn't crunch, and just scrunch it up to the top so it stays all together. And now you can continue weaving all the way up there and repeating your over-under pattern all the way through. So now I'm ready to take my weaving off of my loom. I'm going to remove that piece of tape from the back, and I'm going to gently pop off that little first tail there with the knot, and then take each loop off of each notch there on my loom. And my weaving is held together because those knots are tied at the end and those loops are all the way through. So take off the other loops on the other side of your loom, and my weaving is all together. Now for those two little tails on the bottom, I can either cut those off and trim them with scissors, or I can tie them together and I can have a way for my weaving to hang on the wall like a mini tapestry.